Hello and welcome to the Healthy Cells Chick show. I'm so happy that you are here. As my friend Paula Fellingham, a founder of Win-Win Women TV, always says, we welcome you with open hearts and open arms. This is a fun time for us to come together and just learn and enjoy life, because that is what we have is today. I am Nancy White, your host of the Healthy Cells Chick show. I have a question for you. Are your body's cells happy and healthy from head to toe? Maybe they just need a little bit of refreshing or a makeover. This program is all about our healthy mind, our body, and our spirit. And for optimum health, we need to nourish all three every day. They all go hand in hand. Each week, we are going to discuss an attribute, tips, and suggestions for acquiring and maintaining. There's that word, maintaining. It's always more challenging sometimes to maintain than just to get there, but a healthy mind, body, and spirit. This week, our topic is going to be our healthy body, our healthy spirits. Again, we are mind, body, and spirit, and we need to nurture all three. We're going to talk about what is our spirit and how it affects our health. So we're going to talk about spiritual fatigue and some suggestions and tips on how to nurture our spirit. So what is the definition of a spirit? According to the dictionary, it is the principle of conscious life, the vital principle in humans animating the body or mediating between body and soul. So that's just a lot of information, but you and I both know our spirit is what makes us to just either thrive and just continually evolve with the peace that we need to have every single day. Our spirits are like air. We don't see it, but we know it's there. Just take a breath. See, you didn't see it, but we know and are so grateful that our spirits are there and that air is there. Have you ever encountered someone who exhibits some kindness, some caring, and some humility? Those are outward appearances of a peaceful spirit. Are you feeling discouraged, disconnected, or disillusioned with your faith? If so, you may be experiencing some spiritual fatigue. Yes, that is very real. Spiritual fatigue is inevitable because of the seasons of life and the trials that we all go through. But we don't have to stay in that fatigue state. Spiritual fatigue is, again, feeling tired or exhausted, especially if you're a mom taking care of children. We know what that feels like. But you know what? It's part of our spiritual journey. And it's also referred to as a spiritual weariness or a lack of strength to push through or push forward. In other words, when we feel spiritually drained, defeated at times, we just get sick of trying. And that is a great time also to call on one of your spiritual buddies or prayer warriors, because everybody, again, experiences spiritual weariness. It's just the process of life. We can't just stay the same every single day, even though we would love to. But a self-spiritual checkup are just a few questions we can ask ourselves. After all, we do talk to ourselves all the time. Remember, we talked about that in another episode. So we just need to stop. I love my stop sign, and I'm going to have it on every one of my shows. But we just need to stop and just ask ourselves, do I always tell the truth? Do I gossip? Do I have a critical, judgmental spirit? And we all do, but we know how to get rid of it. And don't worry, I'd rather this is another question I ask myself. Do I worry rather than trusting God? And, that takes practice and it takes a lot of effort. Am I keeping a record in my mind of the wrongs that others have done to me? Remember, we need to be in our bless and release. We need to let go of those things we have no control over. Surely things have happened in our past that we had no control over, or even if we did, we need to be able to let those go and then receive the forgiveness, receive the infilling that we need to have, because we are all not perfect. Nobody has wings, or we would not still be here. Have I forgiven some of the hurts of those who hurt me or wronged me? Am I just all self-focused? Is it all just about me? Unforgiveness is like acid. Remember when you can have a little container, and if we poured acid into it, it doesn't do anything outside that container, but it can really eat away at the inside of that container. That's what unforgiveness does for all of us. So not only do we need to forgive others to release them, but we need to forgive for our own well-being also. And we're again going through challenges, and it's what we decide to do with them. When we talk about the brain, everything is connected: the mind, the body, and the spirit. James Allen, author of As a Man Thinketh, which is a great book, once said, "You are today where your thoughts have brought you. You will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you." I'm going to say it one more time. You are today where your thoughts have brought you, and you will be tomorrow where your thoughts are going to take you. Our thoughts and emotions are represented in the body as electrochemical reactions. Remember, one big chemical. This is what our body is all made out of. And research is clear that negative thoughts and other things that we're continually dwelling on that are not good and positive and uplifting can have a detrimental effect on our health. We can control the degree of those harmful chemicals going throughout our body just by adjusting our thinking patterns. And there's ways to be able to do that. Just start by making a deliberate decision to change how you're thinking. Commit to putting in the effort for just 1 week, and see if it makes a difference in your spirit, your attitude, and emotions. So I will want to just always encourage us every day, those thoughts that we're going through, those negative thoughts, those positive thoughts, those are the things that we get to choose to see what we're going to dwell on. Again, it thrives if you nurture them daily, the body, the mind, and the spirit. So let's just think about, we fuel our body with nourishing foods so our bodies can thrive. We exercise to keep our bodies strong and mobile. And we also have to have sleep and all those other things, part of your healthy self-care. But your spirit needs regular nourishment, although it's an area that we often neglect. And I think that is true for all of us. In previous generations, Sunday was a day set aside to nurture the spirit, whether it was attending a religious service or spending some quiet time with your family. A lot of people, Sunday is now occupied with a myriad of different tasks and activities, none of which bring them closer to their spirit. So again, we need to stop, especially on Sunday. That is our day of rest and restoration. We need to make sure that we're planning those times, because it doesn't just happen. But in order, to create a true harmony of peace in your life, it's important for us all to renew our spirits regularly. So some ways that we can renew our spirit is that we can feed a hobby or a passion. We can spend time, even if it's just 1 hour a week, doing something that you love. That excites our spirit. A good place to start is remembering what you loved to do as a child, or what brings you joy as an adult. Be still, whether it's meditation, prayer, yoga, anything that stops that consistent chatter in your mind. will help you to just relax and open up your spirit to a new possibility and ideas in your life. I encourage you to schedule it. We schedule everything else in our lives, don't we? Take a vacation. Take time off to be, whether it's a day trip, a long weekend, or a 2-week excursion. But anytime you remove yourself from your daily routine, you are renewing and refreshing your spirit. And if you have to work during a vacation, do as little as possible. Block out that time. Let other people know that this is a time that you and your family, or just yourself, you can do a staycation at home. You don't even have to go anywhere. You can turn off that technology. You can plan some fun things and just have a staycation at home. You can spend quality time with family and friends, whether it's on Zoom or in person. There's been a lot of fun things that have been coming about with Zoom in this past year. People are doing fun celebrations. They're doing scavenger hunts. They're doing comedy shows. They're doing all kinds of things. We can be very creative. But having that nurturing relationship in your life, again, will nurture your spirit and other people's spirits too. It's catching. It's just like when you smile at somebody, that smile usually is very contagious. I loved meeting a beautiful gentleman, Zig Ziglar, before he died. And he said, if you don't have a smile or somebody else doesn't have a smile, give them yours. And I love that. If you don't come across somebody that does not have a smile, give them yours. It doesn't take much time at all. So just remember, you get to choose who you're around too, because sometimes when we're around some people that are not very positive and uplifting, that can be more toxic than it can be renewing and refreshing. So make somebody else happy. Do some volunteer work for a nonprofit. Give someone a gift for no reason. It doesn't have to be something expensive. And the best gift, I think, is a true, honest compliment to another person. That means that you have stopped and you have observed and that you have made that effort to say something that is true and honest and honorable. Mark Twain said, the best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer somebody else up. Good old Mark Twain. I always think of Tom Sawyer. He has some incredible writings. But doing good for others, again, makes you feel good from the inside out. And what's on the inside is your spirit. That's where our spirit lives. So nurturing your spirit is what makes you smile. It's more about what you feel good and how you are connected. Nurturing your spirit supports your mental and emotional and physical health. Even though your spirit is fundamental in your wellness, it is often not discussed in your health. So how many times do you go to the doctor and they bring up, so how is your spirit doing? I know they're busy, but you know what? We can talk to ourselves and we can just stop and ask, so how is my spirit doing? Am I frazzled? Am I worn to the bone? Do I just need to schedule some time just to stop? Jean Bolin said, when you recover or discover something that nourishes your soul and brings you joy, care enough about yourself to make room for it in your life. I'm going to read it again. It's a great quote by Jean Bolin. When you recover or discover something that nourishes your soul and brings you joy, care enough about yourself to make room for it in your life. We squeeze so many things in all the time. We need to squeeze time in for us. And nourishing ourselves consistently is essential to feeling vibrantly healthy. We can feel healthy, but wouldn't you love to feel vibrantly healthy? Unfortunately, we too often prioritize everything else in our lives except for caring for ourselves. And we end up feeling exhausted and overwhelmed. And if we keep ignoring or nurturing our spirits, sometimes the results may have us living in a state of chronic stress. This can take a huge toll on our health and our mental and physical well-being. We will talk more about ways to combat stress and anxiety later on. One of the most powerful ways to transform stress and overwhelm is by nurturing ourselves again consistently. And as they say, the best care is self-care. I can't do it for you. You can't do it for me. I can't do it for my children. I can't do it for anybody else. I can encourage, but we are the ones that are responsible for our self-care. Most of us have many responsibilities, especially again, if you're raising children, being a caregiver for a parent or something else that is in your life. But let's just explore some self-nurturing activities. Women, remember, like to multitask sometimes, and we have talked about that a little bit. But since our minds and bodies and spirits are all three connected, it's important to find ways to nurture ourselves that feed all three. Does that sound good? I think it sounds fantastic. So some ways to nurture your mind, your body, and your spirit, we talked about it a little bit, is to meditate. And that takes some practice. And yes, you have to schedule it in or just take time to do it. But research has shown that meditation has an incredible benefit, again, for the mind, the body, and the spirit. Studies have shown that meditation is as helpful for decreasing depression as medication. And it also lowers the stress response in the body. As a bonus, when we regularly meditate, we become more self-aware, and thus we can make healthier choices for ourselves. A lot of people sort of feel lost right now. It's sometimes, but you know that meditating does allow you to get in tune and in touch with your body. So just think, several times a day, pause or stop and breathe in and breathe out. Let's just do it right now. So we're going to just stop. We're going to breathe in. You're going to hold it. You're going to breathe out. And you're going to release. Do it again. Breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out. It just makes you feel calmer all over. My beautiful beloved mother, who lived to be 96 before she moved home to be with the Lord, used to share with me, breathe in Jesus, breathe out thank you. And I have learned that and have practiced that every single day. Again, make sure you just stop, because sometimes when you start feeling that anxiousness come up, or you're beginning to feel overwhelmed or out of time or whatever it is, just stop. It doesn't even take more than 30 seconds, but it can just focus and just let things just sort of flow out that need to be released. Another way to nurture all three is to get out in nature. You can just go open the door and step out and just breathe in, look around. A lot of people love to go on hikes. And if you don't have that ability or to get out walking around, you can still get outside and just experience that peace out in nature. Just stop and close your eyes and listen. You can look around, look far and close. That's great eye exercises also. But when we get out in nature, again, it's another change of environment, but it's also a way to release. And it does connect us with the whole selves and invites us to be present in the moment. And you know what? Even if you're just watching clouds, do you remember when you were a little girl and you used to daydream? I can remember laying in the grass and looking up and looking at the sky and looking at the clouds and just imagining or just, pretending, but just even stopping to listen to the birds chirp. I can remember years ago when I was going through a down time, and one of my counselors I was talking to, he said, Nancy, I promise you, the birds will sing for you again. And I remembered that. And I do remember there was that day when I was outside and I could hear the birds singing. And I remembered what that counselor had said: the birds will sing for you again one day. So when we're outside again, it fuels us with a sense of gratitude and a deep appreciation for being alive. How many of us are really grateful that we're alive today? I am. I'm not guaranteed tomorrow, so I'm going to do my very best today. And if I can make one person smile, do a deed of kindness, whatever it is, then it has been a good day. Something we can do is cultivate our gratitude practice. Acknowledging the blessings in our lives is deeply nourishing for our spirits. You can create a practice for sharing what you're grateful for, both individually and with your family and friends. I think it's so much fun if you're still raising children and having that dinner time. Everybody sits at the table and you go around and you remember something during that day that you were grateful for. It's fun to start with the youngest because they're always just usually say, I'm grateful for my mom and dad. But there's, again, many ways for us to express your gratitude. Journaling is great. One of my first books that I published was the GRT journal, stands for Gratitude, Reflections, and Tips. People have said, I don't like journaling. I say, can you fill in the blanks? So at the end of the day, they can fill in the blanks about what was their highlight of the day, their deed of kindness, what they did for fun, but also being the healthy sales chick, they have to check whether they drank water, how they slept, how they made good choices for eating and for exercising. Remember, we're working on maintaining, and we have to incorporate all those grateful things that we do every single day for us in our self-care. Another fun suggestion is, even if you have children, or if you don't, you can have a gratitude jar. You can just sit down and just, have that time of meditation. And you can just, afterwards, just be writing down things that you're grateful for and put those little slips of paper in a jar. And on some of those days when you're just feeling sort of pewy and down and you just need a little bit of encouragement, go grab one of those out of your gratitude jar and just reach it. Read it, reach it and read it, reach it and then read it. But I promise you that it will just lift your spirits. So think of some other grateful ways that you can share about the things that are going on in your life with somebody else, because there's always somebody else that's going through more challenges than we are. Nurturing that, again, that mind, body, and spirit comes along with being creative. And creativity connects us and nourishes us. And again, is an easy way to express our creativity. For a lot of people, they are a lot more creative, and some of us have to be work at it a little bit more. So thinking about some ways that you can be creative, you can color, you can draw, you can do collages, you can do painting. I love painting with my daughter. And again, we have to schedule it because she's a speech pathologist and she's busy with children all day long. Schedule that time. But we do painting together. We've been doing it since she was in college because she had nothing to put on her walls. So we call our paintings MODA. It stands for mother, daughter. And we're working on one right now. Again, another way is to decorate your home or your office. Just watch HGTV and you will get some good ideas of some cost-effective ways to do some decorating. You can do gardening, which is another way to get out into nature, or create some in-home gardens, which are very popular right now. You can do writing, dancing. Oh my goodness. One of the statistics I had shared with you, and it's true, that dancing decreases dementia by 76%. 76% are really good returns for dancing. Put on music, dance like nobody's watching. Or if you don't have, somebody else to dance with your pet, dance with a teddy bear, or just dance by yourself. So another one is singing. And if you don't think you have a great singing voice, it does not matter. You can sing to the Lord. God inhabits the praises of his people, and that includes singing. You can play an instrument. You can express your authentic truth and beauty by being creative. And there's no judgment. Whatever you do is good for you. Write a love note. Writing a love note is a fun way to nurture and a way to spread love and kindness in the world. But start with writing yourself a love note, acknowledging the love that you have and the appreciation for yourself. It's great to like and love yourself because that's the highest honor that you give God, going, thank you for making me just the way I am. I'm not comparing myself to anybody else because women, especially, the fastest way to cause discouragement is to start comparing yourself with somebody else, another woman. Love and like you just the way you are. Remember, we're always in development and we're always maintaining our great healthy lifestyle. But it can also be a very healing experience, especially if you've gone through some times when you've had low self-esteem, whether it's your fault or not. But again, reminding yourself how much that you love you. Leave a love note for someone in your family. I remember when my mother used to put a little note in my lunchbox because we used to take our lunch to school. And when I opened that up, it just made me smile and just flooded my heart. I didn't care what I had for lunch, but I loved that little love note that she took time just to write and put into there. You can leave little love notes under somebody's pillow. You can just, send a little love note to a friend, just letting you know, I was thinking about you. You can text somebody and just say, you know what, you are so awesome. And I'm so grateful that you're my friend. And I love you so much. You have no idea what people are going through. And when you can share that gift of love and just help the world, and it paints, you can even do something out in public. I know a lot of places in public, you could just even put up a little sign on a telephone pole or just tape something up in the park or whatever, and just make it a little sign. It spreads love and positivity. Your sign could just say something like, you are loved, you matter. Cultivate peace and joy and hope, and believe in the possibility and that you are enough. Imagine how you can make someone feel just to read that. I have a friend that talked with over 1,000 people on the streets around the world to find out what made them happy. And he really wanted to help change their mindset. But his activity got the attention of the United Nations, and they asked him to do a TEDx talk. I would love to share more about that later, but he has started an incredible community for happy people and to become happier, because that's what we do. We want to continually sow into other people. Another great mutually or multitasking benefit is to mindfully eat food that you love. That practice of mindful eating is not only empowering, but also very nourishing to your body. Just think about it. Research has shown that eating mindfully supports healthy food choices. It creates more awareness of your portion sizes. It reduces overeating and increases our appreciation for food. We can decide to eat one meal without any distractions of technology. Put your phone away, put your tablets away, whatever it is. You can even turn the TV off. Yes, you can just have no distractions and just enjoy your food. Look at the colors, look at the textures, enjoy the taste. And by doing that, it brings more total awareness to all your senses. Experiencing eating in this day and time, when they talked about fast food, people don't even take time. They work, they cook and spend time, and then all of a sudden 15 minutes or 10 minutes, it's gone. So enjoy that mindful eating. Have some unstructured and unscheduled time to play, but you can also schedule that time to play. Whether you're playing board games, my family loves board games. We are a little competitive, including me, but whether I win or lose, I enjoy playing. Think of a sport or just something, playing on the floor with your children or grandchildren or your dog. Playing is so just great for your spirit. It's allowing you just to be you and enjoying the moment. You know what? Living in the moment is essential for living with more peace, more joy, and you also are giving yourself permission to play. Remember, we are in charge of ourselves, right? Try one nurturing effort each day and reflect on it. You know, what difference that it makes. Be mindful about the things that you're doing. Don't let this become overwhelming. Pick one thing and do it, and then another time pick something else. So Deepak Chopra said, quote, "The highest aim of any spiritual path is to surrender. Although you may associate the word surrender with defeat or weakness, it is the most powerful spiritual action, offering you infinite freedom and possibilities. Surrendering is trusting God or the universe or a higher intelligence that can accomplish anything, even when you can't foresee the outcome of a situation." So we surrender and we allow those things to just come in and flow. Spiritual fitness is living with the conscious awareness that you are human, divine, physical, and spirit, ego, and soul. And when you allow your life to unfold, think of it every single day. We're allowing our lives to unfold each moment with faith, trust, and awareness. And to the best of your ability, you're taking care of your spirit and soul, and you're practicing spiritual fitness. So self-care for your soul requires that you cultivate some of the following states of being. In a state of being, we all have different states of being, but one is awareness. Our state of being is being aware. How many times do you just go about doing what you're doing and you're not even aware of the things that are around you? So being aware in the state of being, self-aware, consciousness, intuitive, and perceptive. Just be open to the things that are around you and what you're doing. Another state is presence, the experience of being fully in the moment. Remember sometimes when your children, if they were little, you know, they were talking to you or whatever, and you're just so busy, but being present and experiencing fully the moment, just stopping, looking at them, and just, you know, listening. I can remember some great advice that someone told me. It said, when your child is talking to you, or if your child is misbehaving, just stop for a moment, put their little face in your hands and look at them and just say, "You are so incredible. You are loved. You have so many gifts and talents." I will tell you that when you fill that emotional bank, you will see a big difference in your children. Another area that we are going to be in spiritual fitness has something to do that is not achieved. It's a lifetime process. We will never be there. It's a process of continuing to work at it. Courage is our journey, and it's not for the faint of heart. And it requires honesty, patience, stillness, and willingness to go the distance. So one of the things we will talk more about later, about more of your spiritual fitness and nurturing, just thinking about unconditional love. You experience loving and being loved and being totally, infinitely. Just take that time every single day. We're going to continue to work on it one day at a time. So just relax and just notice how you're feeling physically, emotionally, spiritually, and then you can go about your day. Make sure you remember to take those times to meditate, to get outside, to stop and breathe, to be part of the universe and the world. And you know what? You may be curious why I have become known as the Healthy Sales Chick. And I can share more about that later. But it was really my death of my father and my brother that birthed a passion for me to learn how to live a natural, preventative lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle. And if you find yourself running out of energy at the end of the day, and you ask sometimes, "Who shrunk my clothes?" Put on something and go, "Who shrunk my clothes?" If you want to age with strength and vitality and clarity of mind, and to become your very best self, contact me, the Healthy Sales Chick, for your complimentary 30-minute It's All About You session. You can go to www.TheHealthyCellsChick.com and schedule a session. And I will just so look forward to having time to talk with you, get to learn about you, whether it's Zoom, WhatsApp, or whatever. We are all here to experience the precious gift of life as fully as we can. And spiritual fitness helps you to create joy, fulfillment, and purpose in your life. What's more, as we grow spiritually, we contribute to each other's growth. And imagine the possibilities for each other and the world. I hope that you embrace the practice of self-nurturing to support your vibrant health. And may you live authentically and just keep nurturing the joy in the world from the inside out. Thank you for being with us. I am Nancy White, a 30-plus year health advisor and living a natural, preventative, healthy lifestyle. Please join us for our next episode, Wednesday at 7 Eastern Time on the Win-Win Women TV show.com. Until then, be blessed and remember, take care of your temporary temple until you receive your permanent maintenance-free one. Thank you so much.